Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and wanted to. Previously, I reviewed Jan de Bont's film Speed, which is a great movie, then Speed 2, which was a shitty movie. So, why not review the film that he did in between? And to me, this is one of the only two good films Jan de Bont did, which is sad, because Speed came out, was a huge hit. Then he wanted to do Godzilla, but they said it was too much money, so he's like, fuck this, okay. So he got Twister. I think there's a newer DVD with a newer documentary that has like Bill Paxton and Jan de Bont. I would not mind getting that one day, but one day down the road, but I have this. From what I understand, Twister, this is one of the first, if maybe the first film that went on DVD, or at least first Hollywood film that got on DVD. From what I understand. I could be wrong, but from what I understand, Twister is the first film to get a DVD release, which I guess is saying something. Came out in 1996. This film was a gigantic hit. It was the second biggest hit of the year behind Independence Day. Of course, as it says, from the producers of Jurassic Park and the director of Speed. Like I said, Jan de Bont, this was his second film. Producers. You actually had Michael Crichton as one of the writers, along with Anne-Marie Martin. Producers, executive producers, you had Steven Spielberg. Producers, you had people like Kathleen Kennedy and Michael Crichton and Ian Bryce. Those were the three producers, and then Steven Spielberg was one of the executive producers. Mark Mancina did the score with some help with Eddie Van Halen. But Mark Mancina did the score. I thought he did a really good job with this. Seeing this film again, Twister, I really enjoy this film. I love this film. I don't care. If you don't like the film, oh well, it's your loss. And it's my gain. I'm not going to apologize for liking this film because I know this film nowadays gets a bad rap. I know I love the 90s, shit on this film, shit on the special effects, which I don't understand because I think these special effects are pretty damn good for 1996. In fact, I think some of these special effects, the tornado scenes, I think they're just as good as stuff like in the tornado scenes of Man of Steel or other tornado scenes. In fact, I prefer these more. I know people disagree with me because a lot of people think these effects are shit. And for 1996, I think they're pretty damn good. These tornado sequences. And I enjoy this film. I think this film is what summer films used to be. Summer films that were big spectacles, event films, but they also had likable characters. They were fun. They were entertaining. Were they the most realistic? No. But they're not documentaries. And they were entertaining, fun thrill rides. And that's what Twister was. And I'm surprised they never did. I really am surprised they never did a Twister 2. I really am surprised. Because it was such a gigantic hit. And, I don't know what they do for a sequel. I mean, there's always tornadoes and twisters. And hell, I live in Iowa, so I know at least a little bit more about tornadoes. But yeah, I love this film. I think this film, it gets shit on nowadays. But so does Independence Day. That gets shit on nowadays. I don't understand it. I'll take this over the blockbusters that we're getting in the past couple damn summers. Uh, it starts Bill Paxton. You have Helen Hunt, and then you have the team of tornado chasers. Like you have Philip Seymour Hoffman, who I know is no longer with us, but he's playing a character that he didn't play too often because he's more known for serious roles. But here it was opposite. You have Jamie Gertz. You have Terry Elwes. Not sure how to pronounce his last name, so I would just say Elwes. Terry Elwes. Uh, Alan Ruck, who was in Speed. He was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And you have a few other people. Let's see if I can remember. Jeremy Davies, who I think was in Ravenous. He's one of the team members. Sean Whalen, who was in The People Under the Stairs. He was one of the team members on the Storm Chasers. And, well, I mean, the film starts off with, as you find out later, it's actually Helen Hunt's character when she was a little girl. And that little girl, I believe, is actually played by Alexa Vega. That's the same girl that would go on to be in the Spy Kids movies, star in those. And which is kind of weird because you look at Alexa Vega and then you look at Helen Hunt, and the fact that they were the same person is kind of strange. But and then her mom is played by Rusty Schrimmer. This is the anyone who's a fan of Jason Goes to Hell, which I know is not much, but I am. And I know a few people are. The woman who's Joey B, the owner of the diner, who Jason hits her in the mouth and her jaw goes in. That's Rusty Schrimmer. She plays the mother of the very young Joe, who is Helen Hunt's character when she was a kid. And they have a tornado in F5, and they try to get in the storm cellar. Her father tries to hold the door like it's buckling loose, and he just pulled up. And unfortunately, she witnesses it. I thought it was I think this film is very well handled in its sequences. It's well edited. A lot of fluid shots, a lot of shots. I mean, you could tell they shot a lot of this outside. See, this is a film that's not just shot in here, a studio was just all green screen. Because I guarantee if you made this film now, this film, they shot a lot of it outside. You could tell they shot a lot of it outside. They shot a lot on location. You could tell by the great wide shots that you see throughout the film. And I thought it was well edited. I understood what was going on. I understood the locations. I understood who was where and what was happening. So it wasn't that choppy. You know, you can make fun of this film all you want, but some of these films can learn a thing or two from Twister. Anyways, present day, and the gist of the situation is Helen Hunt is working with the storm chasers, and Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt used to be an item. Bill Paxton long ago left, and he's going to take this job as uh, he used to be part of the team. He's going to be a weatherman. He has this new fiance, played by Jamie Gertz, who's a therapist. And Jamie Gertz, Bill Paxton, has gone to this place to give Helen Hunt these papers, sort of to make the divorce final. And you, of course, find out throughout the film that Helen Hunt's character has a little bit of obsession with the tornadoes because of what happened when she was a kid. And yeah, of course you know what's going to happen. You know that Jamie Gertz is going to get out of the picture. You know that Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton are going to get back together. They're going to get their marriage back together. But it is that really going to piss you off? I mean, to me, that's satisfying. That's fine. I thought it was handled the right way because Jamie Gertz's character, you could tell she's out of her element, but I don't think she was annoying. I don't think she was irritating. I don't think she was a bitch because it could be easy to do that. Because later on, when she finds out it's not going to happen, and Bill passes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want this to happen because she's gone through all this stuff, which I'll get to." And she said, "Yeah, I know, and you know she needs you." And it's handled like adults. Holy shit. You could have easily written this character to be, "Oh, you bastard, you two-town bastard, you still love her, or she still loves you." But you could have easily written the Jamie Gertz character to be incredibly annoying, bitchy. Because a lot of films have done that when you have this situation, and I think they handle it the right way. It doesn't make any characters look bad. It doesn't make Helen Hunt look bad, or creepy, or stalkerish. It doesn't make Bill Paxton look bad, or look like a two-time an ass. It doesn't make Jamie Gertz look bad and look like a bitch. It doesn't make anyone look bad. And I give credit to that. But, of course, before all that happens, they find out that a tornado is going, of course, the storm is going to be like the biggest storm in decades, which makes sense. I mean, if it's going to be a movie about Twister, you might as well not have a Peasley Pansy tornado. You also have these other storm chasers that you find out stole Bill Paxton. There's design. Because the whole point of this is Bill Paxton helped create this thing that they call nicknamed Dorothy. This thing that has all these sensors. And when they get close to the tornado, it'll suck up these sensors and then it'll twirl around and they'll get data that goes back into the computers. Well, Cary Elwes is pretty much sort of our human bad guy. He's our asshole of the movie who stole Bill Paxton's designs I thought it was pretty funny when he finally uh, catches up to Carrie Ellis and says, you know, he's ours, you stole it. And Carrie Ellis is like, I should find the actual dialogue, the actual quote, it will work better. I mean, and this other team doesn't care. I mean, they almost push Bill Paxton and Jamie Gertz off the road who were driving in their truck. And one thing I thought was kind of interesting was that uh, usually in these situations, it's usually the guy who's pining for the girl, and it's the girl who's ready to get married, and it's the girl who doesn't want to do this, and it's the girl who's ready to move on, but it's the guy who is stuck in with worried about his job, or is worried about this, and he's not going, you know, the this and that. I like they kind of did a flip where no, it's the woman, Helen Hunt. She's the one who wants to stay with this crazy job. She's the one that wants to stay with this. She's the one that's sort of. Uh, it seems like a lot of times in movies, usually it's the other way. It's the guy who's kind of letting the divorce papers go to the side, or letting the divorce papers not get signed, or throws them away, or doesn't take the phone call, or does certain things to linger on it. But I like that it was the flip, and it was actually Helen Hunt's character who uh, she didn't sign the last page, and uh, Bill Paxton gives it to her, and then when she does it, she goes over here. She's the one who's lingering because she hopes it'll work out. I kind of like that. It may not matter to anybody, but I like that little type of switching it up. It's not just the guy; it's the girl. Some people may be like, "Who cares?" But I like that little bit of a switch up. I thought that was kind of interesting. And again, I like the team. I like the Philip Seymour Hoffman's character. Later on, when he sees Carrie Ellis' character, he's like, "Loser, move on." And like the team is a lot of fun. I mean, one of them even quotes, I think Repo Man from 1984, because it says something like, let's see if I can find that quote too. Like, one of them says, "That's no moon, that's a space station." Like quoting Star Wars. Another one is, I know the Repo Man quote is like, Repo Man knows how to get into tense situations. Or I'm trying to find the right one. Let's see, I should have looked this up after it. Or like when they almost miss. Jamie Gertz is driving and a truck falls down in front of her and she almost misses it. And of course, Phyllis Seymour Hoffman's like, "You just missed that truck? You just missed that truck? That's awesome. That's awesome." I just thought Phyllis Seymour Hoffman is a character that you haven't really seen him play before. I thought that was a lot of fun. And, God, there's a lot of quotes on this I didn't realize. And I'm trying to find it. Come on. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's not going to have the quote there yet. Come on. Oh, of course, it's not going to have it, I'm sure. Something about Carrie always says, unrealized ideas. Unrealized. I like Bill Paxton just throws this, "Well, they ain't worth shit." I just like some of these throwaway lines some of these people have. Like, later on, Carrie always is like, "The days of sniffing the dirt is over." And someone goes, "It's better than what you sniff." Well, I like some of these throwaway lines that they makes them more fun, makes them likable. Holy shit. Uh, or later on when they go see, I believe, Helen Hunt's aunt, and the team realizes they're close to it. And Helen's like, "No, we're not invading my aunt's home." And they're like, "No, we crave sustenance. Come on, food. Food! Food!" "No, I'm telling you, we're not going." And of course, they go there. And they have fun. They're talking stories about Bill Paxton to Jamie Curtis, and like, "Oh yeah, there's this one time where this loser comes out of the car and he's butt naked." And Bill Paxton's like, "Not naked. I was not naked." And they're laughing. It's like, "I was half naked. No, naked." So he just strolls up to the Twister, says, "Have a drink," and chucks the bottle, and the bottle never comes back down. Yeah, Twister sucked it, and sucked it all up. And Bill Paxton's like, honey, these are a tissue of lies. See, there was another Bill, an evil Bill, and I killed him. See, people may not have fun, but or like the Repo Men line from 1984 about how normal people get out of situations, but Repo Men get into tense situations. And I fucked up the quote, but I'm like, is that from Repo? I'm swear that's from Repo Man. Repo Man. I mean, not man, Repo Man. And I'm like, wow, they just quoted Repo Man. They quoted Star Wars. I thought that was pretty cool. And of course, I mean, I also think the action sequences are well done. I mean, you have the first Twister where they go into this ditch and they can't quite get out, and then Bill Paxton and Helen have to hide under, and the Twister's going up and taking their truck. And there's CGI, but I could tell there's a lot of practical in this as well. Like they use practical when they they can and when they should. Yeah, that one. You have another one where they're driving in and there's like these lesser powerful, less powerful tornadoes. Like they get on the car that Jamie Durst at this time and Helen Hunt and just twirls the car in a 360 and Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt like, wow, what was that? That was great. But then Jamie Durst, of course, she gets freaked out. Of course, you have the scene with the cows flying. And I'll admit, I still chuckled at that. Yeah, the cow doesn't look real. Great, I'll give you that special effect. But I had fun with that. Because, Jamie Curtis's watch is like, hey, I gotta go. We got cows. This is the way she says it. Just her look like. I thought it was fun. It made me chuckle. This is the kind of stuff that I was entertained by. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. And there's no apologies from me about it. But I also think the action scenes, like for example, the drive-in sequence, where they find out this was a Universal and Warner Brothers production, so they had like Psycho on the marquee, but then it's a Universal logo at the beginning, but then you have like they're showing The Shining at a drive-in, and then this big tornado comes in, it's tearing up the drive-in. So like the scene where Jack Nicholson is coming in with the axe, the tornado's eating that up. I thought it still looked great today. I think and then they all get into this sort of garage and hide under. And a lot of physical stuff, like you have a real car flying into the real rooftop of the garage that they're at, and then you have like the drive-in sign that's that Galaxy type. I think it says Galaxy or something. Real thing flying in and almost crushing our characters, and things flying. Someone grabs a hose and then this thing flies by and cuts his head, and Helen Hunt's helping him trying to cover it. Um, yeah, the sequence where they try to, they have a couple of these Dorothys, and sometimes things get screwed up, like a telephone pole will knock it over and spill out. And at one point comes to a confrontation where Bill Paxton's like, well, what are you doing? You're obsessed. And she's like, well, you never seen that tornado hit this house. And, skip this house and skip that house, but then come for you. And Bill is like, Jesus, is that what you really think happened? And sort of confronting that she's obsessed because her father died. And I thought it was a nice moment. And I know people complain about Bill Paxton. I don't know why. I like Bill Paxton. Loved him ever since Aliens as Hudson, sir. He's Hicks. Or, game over, man. Game over. What we gonna do now? What we gonna do? Or, why did you put her in charge? Love Hudson. Weird Science. He directed a film that I thought was pretty good called Frailty, and he was also in it. Bill Paxton, he's going to be in Edge of Tomorrow, I believe, with Tom Cruise, and Predator 2, of course. I think Bill Paxton does a lot of great stuff, and I don't know why he trying to get crapped on by people, but I think he did a great job in this. I thought Helen Hunt did a great job. I thought both of them worked very well. And yeah, I thought the music was well done by Mark Mancina. I like some of the music that they had from Van Halen. Like you have a song called Humans Being. Shine on, shine on. Well, even the music. Like this, I swear, when this movie, I had so much fun with this movie. When the end credits started, I watched the entire end credits because I like the way it was done because it shows you. Like the rest of the film, it seems like not only did they shoot a lot on location, but I like that look where being in the Midwest, I know that look when it's not quite a storm, but it's not sunny and shiny. It's in between. I like that look, and you see that look a lot in this film. It's not completely dark, but it's not completely light. It's in the middle. I like that look. And you see shots of that look throughout the end credits. Well, throughout the entire film, but I mean the end credits. As I think the song called "Respect the Wind," which I thought was well done. I like the guitar. And I think Mark Mancini did a good job, but I also like the Van Halen edition. Uh, of course, Terry. They try to warn Terry always at one point. He doesn't listen, and him and his buddy get taken up from the tornado. At the finale is very exciting. You have a lot of stuff going on in the finale. You have the sequence where they try to. They have two more of these Dorothys left. One, they try to sit there, but something like a tree branch or something knocks it down. But then they gotta get back in the car real quick. And I like this, some CGI, but you also have a real tree branch that go, like tree trunk, I should say, that goes under the truck. Gets them caught so they're stuck. They can't get out. And then this fucking oil tanker, like a oil tanker, but I don't mean that, but this truck, this big fucking truck that's like gas, and I don't know what's in the back. It's gas or whatever. One of those big trucks, and they use some real stuff. Like you see the real big ass truck hit their truck at the front, and it bounces off, and that way they can get out of it, and just all this crazy stuff happening, like driving on the road, and all these fucking combines just start falling in front of them. So left, right, trying to dodge all these combines that are falling down in front of them. Of course, before that, that damn truck floated up with all the gas that's inside the back of it. And then it landed right in front of them and blew up. And real truck going through real fire. And that's what I mean. You gotta add some physical, real elements in there. It makes the scene work better. And this did it. You have CGI tornadoes and stuff, but you have some real stuff. And let's face it, tornadoes are not that detailed. So you want to complain about special effects or tornadoes. Tornadoes in real life are not really that detailed. You just see a flur of this when you see real tornadoes. They're not that detailed. So I think these worked out just fine. In my opinion, I think they worked out just fine. I'm sorry, I don't think the film looks that bad, especially for a fucking film from 1996. The 2006, holy shit, almost 20 years, 18 years ago. 2006, yeah. Fuck. 18 years ago. Wow, this was 18 years ago. Think about it. 18 years ago, I don't think this looks that bad. What the fuck? Does it look perfect? No, it's 1996. It still looks pretty damn good, and I think the characters are likable. I think the music works well. I think the action. It's not a 2.5 hour movie. It's under 2 hours. In fact, without the end credits, it's like, what, an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 46 minutes. And not only all this shit happened with the combines, but then a fucking house rolls into the road, and I love Bill Paxton, like, I think we're going in, and just drives right through a real house. And it's a real set, real house. They drive through, and they drive to the other side, and they realize they gotta drive the truck into the tornado. They do. They jump out of it, and it goes in, and the sensors go up, and they gotta get out of there. So they run through the cornfield. They get to this house and this barn. They get in. They can't stay there because there's all these blades and farm equipment up top. Shit's shooting through the window, almost hitting them. They gotta run out. This big F5 tornado, the biggest tornado, humongous as shit, ripping out the barn, ripping out everything. The entire barn wall flies at them. They gotta get out of the way. There's like combine type thing. Another one flies by them. They got ducked down. And I know this is the scene that everyone bitches about. This is the scene that everyone makes fun of because it's not that realistic. Uh, because they find this pipe that they say goes down pretty far. And Bill Paxton says, we may have a chance. And then they take like this. Helen gives him one thing. He's like, no, that's not good enough. And there's like these sort of leather type straps. And they like tie them together. It's not like they just hold on to the pipe. They're tying them together so if they're yanked, then they're holding on as well. And of course, it goes over them and they're in the middle of the funnel and they see it. And people say, well, that's unrealistic. There's no way that the belt and there's no way that the leather would have held. It would have broken. I don't know because I've never done it before. Tornadoes are weird things. You want to know what I mean? Hell, my friend Mike. I remember my friend Mike told me a story that he heard on the news. Tornado. Lifted a baby. Landed somewhere else. And the baby was completely safe. It could go through 5 houses and 2 of them will still be up. Or 1 of them will be just fine. I mean, that's the thing with tornadoes. Strange shit happens. And I've never been in that situation, so I wouldn't know. Just like I've never been in space. I've never been that close to a tornado in the middle, so I don't know. Crazy shit happens. And at the end of the spectrum, it was fun to watch. And it was cool to look at. It was cool to see. It was a cool way to end the movie. Tizza lands, the team drums in, they celebrate, Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton kiss, movie ends, great wide shot. I did a lot of good wide shots, either pushing in or pulling out, seeing the landscape of, the Midwest, which I definitely know of because I live in Iowa, in the Midwest. I think this was Kansas because it said Wichita in it. I believe it was Kansas. And yeah, I thought the film was entertaining. I thought the film was fun. I thought real enough Joss Whedon, which I did props, in Speed, and I did because he worked on Speed. He came in, Joss Whedon, to do a little bit of rewriting on it. I give credit to that. But I thought the film did a great job. De Bont claims that Twister cost close to $70 million. It was speculated that last-minute reshoots in March and April to clarify a scene about Joe as a child, the opening, and overtime requirements in post-production at ILM raised the budget to $90 million. They moved the release date up from May 17th to May 10th in order to give it 2 weekends before Mission Impossible. Worked out well because, again, it became the second biggest hit of the year after Independence Day. It's kind of weird how it was nominated for special effects, Oscars for special effects, but now people make fun of them. I don't think they're that bad, I'll be honest. I think the tornadoes still look pretty damn good. Better than some of the shit I've seen today, like After Earth. Look at fucking After Earth CGI and shit. A lot of the CGI today don't look fucking real, so I don't know what people are talking about, and those are released today. A lot of CGI in fucking today don't look real. I'm sorry. You name a couple movies, and this film had, well, it was 70, but okay, 90 million. I think this is pretty damn... I don't know what more I can say about Twister. I think Twister gets shit on nowadays. I don't think it deserves it. I think it's a fun movie. I think it's an entertaining film. I know you had like some low-budget tornado films. You had one called Tornado, I believe, with Bruce Campbell and Ernie Hudson. You had Night of the Twisters, who I think had one of the Dukes of Hazzard guys in it. I mean, of course, you have a lot of films with tornadoes in them, like Man of Steel and Day After Tomorrow and such had tornadoes in them. But I don't know what more I can say. I think the cast do a great job. It's a fun cast. I think Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, Carrie Elwes, Jamie Gertz, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Alan Ruck, Sean Whalen. I think the score fits well. I like the music by Van Halen in it. This film brought a smile to my face. I watched the end credits. I was just smiling because I'm like, this is what summer movies used to be. They were fun. They were entertaining. They had likable characters. And it's not like every day that you have a tornado movie. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, you have like 10 superhero movies and 5 of these movies, but you didn't have many tornado movies. And even after, you didn't have many big budget tornado movies. I guess, oh, well, one is enough. Well, I think there's another one coming out called Into the Storm or something like that. And I saw the trailer and I'm like, I'm not sure. Someone told me it was found footage, but the trailer doesn't look found footage. I don't know about that one, but I enjoy this film. I said it like 5 times already. I love the flick. I think it's entertaining. Almost wish I watched this with my friends Effrey or Mike, but who knows? If either of them ever want to watch this, let me know and I'll watch this with you. Effrey or Mike, if you're watching this, let me know and give me a holler, and I'll gladly watch this again with you. You know, what summer movies used to be. What summer movies were fun. I mean, in my opinion. But that's Twister. Again, the haters who say the special effects don't work, I disagree. Hey, it's your opinion, and my opinion is this film still is a great summer flick. Twister. Very enjoyable film. And that's my opinion. If it's not yours, oh well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care and stay tuned for more reviews. Later.